Just because you want to create wholesale slaughter doesn't mean that slaughter has to be mindless. Sometimes you want strategic slaughter, where each decision is way more important than just shoot here. And that's where strategy games come in. There are loads of them on the App Store, which can make it difficult to pick the one that's right for you. So we've picked what we think are the 5 best strategy games for mobile. There's a decent mix here, from side-on to top-down, detailed to pared back. Each and every game is worth checking out, so our advice is just grab them all. After basically defining the modern tower defense genre with its Kingdom Rush series, Ironhide went away, had a think, came back, and essentially created the modern mobile strategy game. iMarines is tough, but never unfairly so. It's smart, but never overwhelming. And it borrows from so many other genres that it stays fresh for as long as you keep playing it. You traverse large levels, complete objectives, build bases to defend, installations to protect, and of course blast waves of enemies into tiny bits. It might not have the scope of some classic RTS games, but it takes the meat of the genre, balances it brilliantly, and then puts it in the palm of your hand. While Iron Marines is all about conquering planets, Steamworld Heist is about getting into spaceships and robbing them blind. Set in its lovely futuristic cogs and cowboys universe, it's filled with brilliant ideas. It takes XCOM-style squad-based combat and does it in 2D rather than 3D, then fills it with unbelievably satisfying moments, a perfectly placed long-range shot, an intelligent flanking maneuver, a grenade bouncing nicely into your foe's lap. Every turn is a balancing act, as you weigh weapons, classes, and action points against the enemies you're facing, and possible angles of counterattack. Also, give me all the hats, I want that hat, there. Put it on my head, I want it, it's nice. Do you love Advance Wars? Well, you're probably gonna like WARBITS then. It takes the shape of Nintendo's much-loved cartoon classic, then shakes it around so it fits more comfortably onto your phone. You get tanks, infantry, flying machines, and support drones, all of which you'll need to use in order to conquer your enemy and rub your victory in their schmarmy face. There's a real focus on subtle strategy. Weight of numbers is rarely enough to win the day. Instead, you need to think about the position of your troops and support units, and figure out ways to protect your army while still taking out your foes. There's also a rich vein of slightly bonkers humour running through the game, and the addition of multiplayer maps mean you can always jump in and have a scrap, even if you finished the single player. There's a lot to do in WARBITS, and you're going to have a lovely old time doing it. Frozen Synapse is a mixture of an RTS and a turn-based strategy game that involves planning out your attacks before you execute them. The twist is that your foes are inputting their moves at exactly the same time. Instead of shooting where your enemies are, you need to anticipate where they're going to go and shoot where they will be. Now and then it can feel unfairly hard. Sometimes the AI is a little too savvy for its own good. It's a heady experience, almost equal parts order and chaos. The precision of your instructions as you meticulously tap out paths and ask for your men to aim in a particular direction, then the noisy, bloody result of your commands. It's crazy tense, fits beautifully onto iPad, and the cyberpunk stylings are the digital cherry on the cake. And finally, RYMDKAPSEL is a game that peels back the layers of the RTS and exposes its beating heart. It's like a neat shot of the genre, taken fast and with little regard for your own safety. Like everything else Grapefruit has made, this is a game that plays by its own rules, with its own style and its own ideas about the way things should be. The rooms you're gathering resources from and defending can only be built in Tetris-style shapes, and corridors must stretch between them, meaning you really need to consider how exactly you're spreading out your ship. And as resources are the key to victory, you need to become one with your workers, throwing them into the appropriate jobs whenever needed. The game's minimalist approach can be frustrating on your first play, but does make for some gorgeous visuals and a genuinely unique approach to gameplay. It's not immediately obvious how certain elements of the gameplay work, so you'll end up dying due to factors you feel might be beyond your control. But once you clock your goal and recognize the ebb and flow of creation and attack, RYMDKAPSEL is gloriously entertaining, and a novel take on the RTS genre. Whether you like strategy games or not, you should definitely give this one a look.